I'm not even gonna say anything. I have no comment on it.
It's a circus down there. What in the world is going on with the special teams at One Bills Drive? Please,
okay.
if you welcome.
It's Hump Day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hump Day Hotline. I am one of the co-hosts, Jay Spence the King.
You might just
this
be the
guy
host.
To,
you might be the host going forward.
This guy he's literally to my left, but he's to my right in this. Joe Miller Wired. He's the host of the Overreaction podcast, and he's also a co-host here. And he's obviously very visibly bothered right now because the Buffalo Bills have made a move today, and they signed a new punter. Joe, you want to talk about our new punter?
I don't know anything about our new punter. I know about our old punter, who cannot for the life of him get cut from this roster. There is no planet where Vedvik is worse than Bojorquez. What has Bojorquez shown us that makes them be like, well, we're going to bring in a different punter for competition, and Vedvik, you're the one that's got to go. Like, what is? It's a circus. I might not speak for the rest of the show.
But listen, I told you on the Overreaction podcast, like back in June. Matter of fact, it may have been the end of May. I told you the Bills love Corey Bojorquez, and I get it. He shanked the ball off the right side of his foot like 50,000 times. But I told you they have a love for him. But now here's my question: before you, because I see you about to explode, but let me ask you this before you really explode. Do you think it could have been that he really wasn't 100% from that injury the year prior?
Who, Bojorquez?
Yeah. Like, what if he's healed? Like, what if he's healthy now he's actually performing better in camp? We don't get to see it.
So as Jay Spence said, welcome into the Hump Day Hotline. So, and this is, I would love to know what you got. I would love to know what you guys think about this situation. Spence and I have covered it at length in previous podcasts, on my show. I think we covered it in his show. We've talked about it on this show. Like, I'd love to know what you guys think. So, first of all, welcome in, hump the like. So, smash the like button. Super chatters get priority, as you guys know. Also, if you look at the screen down over, man, I can't do the pointing thing over there underneath Jay Spence. We're looking for right there. We're looking for a sponsor for this show, and it can be you. I've got a couple leads on some decent things, but if it's you, that'd be awesome. Regardless, moving on. I want to know what you guys think. So I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at stuff. Hump Day. It's good to see you guys. Adam's in the house. Adam Nanini's in the house. Elliot's always in the house. He said something about burning the house down, or was he talking about? I'm old, so I don't know. I'm not up on the kid lingo today. There's some like typical guys in here. Rico's in the house. What's up, Rico? Tom Winter. I want to think this new guy came in and kicked the air out of it, thus the change. So the question was posed to me by you. So what do I think? I didn't not like Colton Schmidt. Can I start there? Like, I was not upset with the work that we were getting from Colton Schmidt from Schmitty Punter. Like, and then like all of a sudden, the Patriots have this guy who they brought into camp to punt for them, doesn't punt one time in preseason. And then like the last preseason game happens, final cutdowns come, they have the final roster, and then it was like a day or two after, all of a sudden it's like, oh, the Bills have made a change at punter. We're bringing in this Corey B guy that not going to work here anymore, right? From Office Space. Like, nobody can pronounce his name, and Schmitty's down the road. What does Schmitty do? Schmitty shows up at the tailgates first game of the season, which is like the mother of all trolls. Like, if you're going to troll somebody, that's what you do. Bojorquez, did he from day one? I don't remember when he got injured, because I don't remember him ever punting well. Do you remember him ever punting well? I know he got injured, right? And then they brought Schmitty back, right? and then all of a sudden Bojorquez was maybe okay, and then Schmitty leaves again. They bring back Bojorquez, and then last year was a disaster. There was nothing about last year. I mean, there was one point in time where I was in a Twitter argument with Sal Capaccio, and I love Sal, so don't get the wrong idea, but he's blowing me up about Bojorquez because the stat came out that inside the I don't remember what it was, inside the 45 or inside the 47 or something about touchbacks or like, I don't even remember. And it was literally a stat that equated to his limits. The fact that like he was kicking the ball like out of bounds. I got
Okay.
nothing, dude. There's what has anybody seen anything about from this guy that makes you think that he's an NFL punter? Anybody?
Here, I have. So here's the thing. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a moment. Now you know how I truly feel. Like I'm kind of on the same page as you.
Yep.
But just for a moment to play devil's advocate. So he actually, before he was injured, that preseason he didn't kick with New England. So we really didn't see anything, and I feel like the Bills picked him up just based on the strength that we feel like everything New England did was perfect, even though we didn't really get
bold strategy, Cotton.
right. But when he got here, he hasn't consistently kicked well, but we've seen it. Like you don't remember him seeing, like I've seen him kick well a couple times.
Once. I saw it one time, and it was against the Eagles in a 65-mile-an-hour wind gust day, and he crushed the football and was flexing as he's coming off the field. And I was just like, bro, I need to see it more than once. So, like,
Well, okay, so the reason why I brought that up, so even if we just use the one, say that's his potential. Say that's what he really is, but he's been injured.
we can't go down
The reason why I'm asking, the reason why I'm asking.
You don't want Hausch on this team because he's injured.
And I was literally just about to bring that up. So I saw a tweet, I believe it was Joe Biscaglia, tweeted that in camp, Hauschka looks good. He actually made a few kicks longer than 50 yards, but again, it's in practice. But again, so he was injured last year. So I feel like a lot of the misses and a lot of the inaccuracy that he had came from him being injured. So would you be willing to give both those guys a chance this year if they're actually healthy?
So, I mean, we've heard no reports that Bojorquez is not healthy. Now, there's been some lingering things. This is it. He's literally a league average punter. He's below average. Oh, who are we talking about here? Oh, we're talking about the guy that they just brought in, right?
Yeah.
Not Bojorquez. I'm like, Bojorquez is not a league average punter. Hauschka took a cheap shot by what's his name, the defensive end from the Jets, right? Like not way after the play, but behind the play. Like we all saw him get blown up. He wasn't right that game. He wasn't right for a while. I don't know that I've got so two things. I don't know that I've got enough injury history as it being reported about Corey Bojorquez to give him the chances that you want me to give him. And my fear is I'm going to rip my television off the wall week 1 when he shanks a punt off his foot. Like they're going to truck him out there for the first punt of the game at our own 35 or our own 38-yard line because the defense or the offense stalled because that kind of stuff happens, and he's going to shank the football into the stands like 15 yards downfield. That's where I'm at. Like I don't know that I can. Yeah, this is it. This is because there's reasons why this is. He had a net punt last year. 41.6 was 12th best in the NFL. Cody, you don't.
No, I mean, are we talking about because in the second half he says that the Bills had the 9th or the 4th worst.
Okay, so this might be the dude Henderson, right, from the Jets. Is that right?
Right.
Is that his name? I'm sure this guy's an upgrade. I just don't know. I guess for me, there's a great deal. Anderson is the dude that hurt. Thank you, Crystal. Anderson is the dude that hurt Hausch. I guess for me, I just don't know. It's what I said. You've got two guys in the room. Clearly we want to get better. So I'm Sean McDermott. You're Brandon Beane. We got two punters in the room. We're having a conversation about wanting to be better. We just need to be better in the punting game. I'm not super happy about what we had last year, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. We brought in Vedvik, but he's not necessarily giving us. What do you want to do, Brandon? Is there somebody out there? You respond, yes, Henderson, right? So yes. So say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you've got a guy. So Henderson. So who are we going to let go? We'll let go of Vedvik. Like I guess that's where I'm at. Like Vedvik, I think was a halfway decent punter last year, wasn't he? Before he got hurt.
I don't think that either one of them were good. So we need to fix our punting.
I'm gonna
like,
play
period.
I'm gonna play the circus music again. Like seriously, I'm gonna play the circus music again because this is. Anyway, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, it's just funny because I love when you get annoyed like this. It's hilarious because I don't really get to see you out of character too often. So this is great for me. But in the comments, it kind of looks like people are over the punting situation already. Anyway, they're already on to Yannick. So we're gonna get there in a minute.
Okay.
I still want to kind of talk about this special teams issue because again, we're also talking about the kicking competition. So I just mentioned that Hauschka, according to reports, looks pretty good in camp. Mm-hmm. What do you think about our draft pick, though? Do you think?
So the reports that we got was day one, Hauschka didn't kick, right, and that Bass went 6 for 9. And then Hauschka has come in, and there's been some reports just about Hauschka loving the competition. So every place that Hauschka has been, that the coaching staff or the management has brought in competition against him, he's owned the situation. I don't not like Stephen Hauschka, so I've got a great amount of grace for him. Don't ask me why. It's probably because he's done it before. So he was good in Seattle. He was good here, right? So I'm not at the point where the ship has sailed because of the major injury that he had. Vedovic has never punted in the NFL. Thank you, Bobby. Well, there you go. So I've got a little more grace. I've got a little more rope. That doesn't mean I got a long leash on him. It's not like I've got he doesn't have a ton of leash. Like if he comes in and he misses a 50-yarder or 2 50-yarders in the first game, I mean, we're in my opinion, it's a similar situation. I might be ripping my TV off the wall. Is that what you're looking for me?
Well, yes, but first, if we're in a situation where he has to kick 2 50-yarders, I'm pissed off with Sean McDermott, and I'm pissed off with our offensive coordinator.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, the Jets have a good defense. The Jets are not going to be bad on defense.
Jets do not have a good defense, and they will be bad on defense. Their leader has opted out, so Mosley's not playing. They lost their safety, their
Adams
franchise safety.
Yep.
Their cornerbacks are decent. I'm not going to disrespect those guys. They're decent. We should eat. Stephon Diggs should eat
Quentin
week one.
Williams is no joke. I mean, the kid can play football. I mean, he was taken in the first round.
I'm not talking about running the ball. I'm talking about passing. There's no reason why that secondary should do well against the Buffalo Bills week one when you have Stephon Diggs, John Brown, Cole Beasley. And then if you want to use Singletary out the backfield and you want to use him in the passing game, there's no reason why we should not have an explosive offense week one against a depleted Jets defense. And if anybody says differently, I'm muting you in the comments.
Listen to Jay Spence getting some energy up in here.
Because if we have to kick from the 50 2 times in week one, or first of all, if we lose to the Jets,
bring it. Give me the energy. Give it to me.
No, I'm actually gonna calm down. Where's my coffee? Go ahead, because that just you tricked me, man. You can't say stuff like that. You can't do that.
So, what did I want to say? So, I was gonna make a point about the Jets. I can't remember what it was. I was all gooey because of your little rant there. No, I agree with you as far as the Jets go. I mean, that's a game that we should win. It should be a W all day long. But I remember what it was. Last week I got blown up about Brian Daboll. I got totally obliterated about Brian Daboll last year, and I got excited and I got all in the camera, red faced and in the camera, and people are making fun of me still for it on Twitter, which is fine. You guys can make fun of me. It is what it is. But the reality is we've seen Brian Daboll do this before. You know what? Their secondary isn't very good. They're going to expect us to pass, but we're going to run the ball.
I don't think that's going to be the move this year. I think last year
they did it.
Last year
on more than one occasion.
When you look at the roster we had, though, it was very similar, except for a couple things. Like we didn't have a true number one wide receiver, and we also didn't have really a good second back. And I know I've been sounding like I've been.
They did it in the reverse, though. What I'm talking about, they did in the reverse. So it was like, oh, the Browns have a horrible run defense, and we've got a good one. Let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah.
Right. But, I guess my point to that is saying if we had a better running attack, and even if we had a true number one wide receiver, I think, for instance, the Cleveland game would have been a little bit different. I just do. We lost last year. It is what it is. Going into this year, I just seriously, I doubt. having Stephon Diggs and having John Brown as your number two, and then having those running backs out the backfield, and I'm expecting a lot out of Knox. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm expecting a whole lot out of Knox. Anthony says Bean knows what he's doing. Has there been any complaints about anything he's done since he's been here? Crickets.
There have.
Actually, there have been a bunch of complaints. I'm happy with a lot.
The list is not long, but there have been some.
Yeah, so. Like I'm happy with a lot, but not everything. And Crystal just brought up a good point. Kelvin Benjamin. When Kelvin Benjamin when he was traded, I think people kind of celebrated that for a moment. Like when we first got him, it's like, oh, we got a big bodied receiver. Finally, is what we need. And then like after his very first game here, we're like, wait, why the hell did we do that? Like what? I don't.
Kelvin Benjamin obviously tops that list, but I put something out there on, I don't remember which one it was, but the whole Carolina Panthers like free agency train, every time the Panthers cut somebody, they at least try out in Buffalo, that can stop. To me, that's a Brandon Beane thing. Like I don't need to see every single player that the Panthers cut at least try out or make the team in Buffalo. So, but Beane has made some sillies, so he hasn't been perfect.
Well, I hear that complaint a lot, and my argument to that is it's not every player that Carolina cuts; it's the players that are cut that were there when Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott were there. Mm-hmm. So I think they were. It was a winning team. The last time Sean McDermott was there, they were 15-1. You know what I mean? So,
right.
So when those guys get cut, Sean McDermott has a pretty good eye for talent, I think. So I feel like when he's bringing those guys in, if they're anything close to what they were when they were in Carolina, I'm not upset about it. I do understand why everybody's like, oh, man, I'm tired of being the Buffalo Panthers. But at the same time, we made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. Why are we complaining at who they bring in? The team is better. The game is better. Who cares who they bring in and where they get them from?
No, I agree. Totally. I'm just perusing the comments here. I love the energy in the comments. So, yeah, keep the energy in the comments going. So people are wanting to switch gears to. It's funny because they switched gears to Yannick Ngakoue, and then you got him back over to the Jets, which was funny.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Back to the Jets.
You're fine. I mean, that game is a W. There's no way that we're not winning that football game, and there's no way, in my opinion, that we're not winning the Dolphins game right behind it, which is what you and I both predicted when we did our season predictions a couple months ago. But that Jets team is, I mean, they're running for the hills. That team is already almost packed it in. So here we go. Got a super chat. We both put it up at the same time. Sorry about that. My bad.
Who's driving, man?
You're driving. Well, you were ranting.
If you want to drive.
You were ranting, so I started driving. But go ahead.
I was going to say, I would gladly take the passenger seat. But my main man Steve said Pat DeMarco, Lee Smith, Trent Murphy to Tennessee for Brett Kern. Who says no? I say no.
So this is a trade proposal.
Yeah. I say no to that.
Why do you say no? Why would you say no? You can't have love for. Well, I like Lee Smith. I guess I need to preface that before people freak out on me. I don't like Lee Smith. I like what Lee Smith brings to the offense in the sense of he is a third tackle, right, on this offensive line. Now I can do without all of the false starts. Like the dude needs to listen when Josh says what the play count is, right? On 1, on 2. Like the dude needs to pay attention. But I can do without Pat DeMarco. I can do without Trent Murphy. So tell me why you would not do that trade.
Well, I wouldn't do that trade because I personally have other plans for Trent Murphy. I'd rather get rid of him completely and sign. Like I just want to sign. I don't want to trade him and bring somebody else in because that's like counterproductive to what I want to do. I want to get rid of him and bring in Clowney, or right now, if this thing can happen with the Yannick, like everybody's talking in the comments, and we'll get there. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. Like I forget Marco, forget Smith, like whatever you want to do with those guys, whatever, cut them, trade whatever you can. Get me Yannick. Like somebody earlier, like I was debating with somebody.
I don't see it
you
happening.
You don't want him?
No, I want him. I don't think they're going to get him. But go ahead.
No, I don't think it's happening either. Like I feel like it's very unrealistic, especially when you're talking about contracts and you're talking about the future. But here's my thing.
That's not why. They've invested so much into this defensive line already. I don't think they're going to get Yannick Ngakoue. I think they're happy with what they have.
And I would agree with that to a certain extent. I feel like we're at the place right now where, like, with this roster, we're very good, right?
Yeah.
On defense, we're very good. And
other than punter.
Well, no, I'm talking defense. I'm talking defense.
I thought you meant the whole roster.
No. But with the defense, we're very good on defense. We have a shutdown corner. We have. I don't know what we're going to get from Josh Norman this year, but if he's back to what he was in Carolina or anything close to it, we have a pretty good cover guy.
Agreed.
And linebackers are straight. The defensive line is very good, But we could be elite if we could consistently get to the quarterback. And if you bring in Yannick, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So my thing is with the window that we talk about every other week, it's like we're in this window. Why not try to win this year? Like same thing that I was arguing about with Sterling and Pierre about not Pierre because he actually kind of agreed with me. Sterling was saying like even with the Cody Ford thing, like well he was drafted at right tackle, play him at right tackle. Okay, you want to draft somebody to play a position that they keep getting beat at, and then the offensive line, like it causes the drive to stall, and then you're upset that Josh Allen isn't doing something when he got sacked on 3rd and 3 because Cody Ford didn't keep the block, as opposed to moving him into right guard and seeing what kind. I know so I'm moving on.
We got all the bosses in here tonight. Steve's in here, Pierre's in here, Rico's in here, Bobby's in. It's like mom and dad are watching. Like I don't know what's going on, but we might be in trouble. We weren't doing very good in that poll on who's the favorite was. So maybe like everybody's watching, like the attention is on us now.
We all know Rico's the guy though, man. We know. What's
don't get him started in the comments on Rico.
Oh, too late. but yeah, I think he'll have a decent season. I mean, I think he'll be exactly who Jerry has always been. Every year we get pretty much the same performance from Jerry. He's very consistent.
You know who else is a Buffalo native, Steve? Jake Schum.
He is.
I live in Lakeview. My kids go to Frontier. The brother is like kicking the ball down at Frontier High School. Like every day he's down there practicing. Can't get a tryout. I don't get it, but it is what it is. So, it is what it is.
Man, can I just ask, are you, like every week when you're in here, are you just trolling? I really need to know. Like, I know I got the comment up. I just really need you to be honest and tell me if you're joking or if you're serious. Because if you really think that Sam Darnold is a mediocre quarterback, I get that the team is mediocre. Sam Darnold is not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're fine. The only credence that I would lend or that I could lend to that comment is I don't think the Jets are going to tank for Lawrence. So I don't think that's the answer. I don't think it's a situation of like they're notably going into tank unless you see Darnold get traded this year. If you see Darnold get traded for more picks because they're loading up on picks, if you see Darnold get traded, then maybe they're going to tank. However, I'm not opposed to the idea that if the Jets end up 1-15, 2-14, that they don't draft Trevor Lawrence and move on from Darnold.
I mean, okay. I just wouldn't. I feel like if you have your quarterback and you know the quarterback isn't the problem.
But if they go 2-14, is it? I mean,
if you don't block for him, and now they took away his receivers. But
you're talking about a rebuild from the ground up. By the time that rebuild's done, it'll be 3 years after this year. So now you're talking about Darnold being 6 years in the league, 7 years in the league. I mean, I'm not saying they would do it intentionally. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying intentional.
No, I'm with you.
I'm just saying that it wouldn't surprise me if they move on from him. But it's the same thing I said about Josh Allen. Like I've said the same thing. Like if Josh Allen plateaus or regresses, there's going to be a quarterback competition in Buffalo this year or next year.
Yeah.
So, yep. I would rather have Clowney because he's literally been being a 1 year deal. Yannick would demand too much. So the problem with the Yannick would demand too much comments and the concerns, and I get it, is the fact that the Bills have a lot of money to play with, and literally it's in the name of Trent Murphy. And I'm sorry, Trent, if you're watching. The reality is you're a huge cap hit, in my opinion, a huge cap liability, and the production just isn't there. So, I mean, half of Yannick's salary is right there in Trent Murphy, Murphy.
And the thing about it is, too, it's also a 1 year rental because we missed the deadline with the franchise tag. So right now, any team he signs with or trades to, he has to play on that franchise tag for this year. So he really can't sign an extension until next season anyway, or the offseason anyway. So with that being said, it's still a 1 year rental. Get him, go for it all. If we win, cool. If not, and it doesn't work out, if you hate him in the locker room, move on from him. But man, I'm telling you, if we could do it, that line would be scary good. That line would be scary good.
I think that line's going to be scary good anyway.
Well, no, it is. But I'm just saying, so I don't know. We just haven't been getting to the quarter. And I know we brought in Addison, and I know we brought in Jefferson. So I know we've made improvements. I haven't seen it yet for the team. So it's just about something that I haven't seen. Darnold is a lot better than Bills fans make him out to be. I agree.
It's true. He's not the reason that team's losing, to Jay Spence's point a little while ago. That is absolutely true. What else you got in the chat?
Yannick's contract is in Murphy and Nsekhe contracts. Yeah. Nsekhe, I don't personally want to get rid of him, though. I did see. Let me ask you this. Let me see if I can pull it up. I saw an article earlier that was talking about the possibility of trading Ty Nsekhe to the Chargers from Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I don't think no. That's a no for me. I'm not bringing in somebody to compete with Moss and Singletary like that. I don't.
No, not the running back.
Oh.
Melvin Gordon, the running back, is no longer with the Chargers. We're talking about
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about the linebacker. I mean, the
Gotcha.
pass
Oh,
rusher.
you're right. I saw that as well. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I saw that graphic today. I don't remember who made it when I was scrolling through social media, and it gave me a kind of a feeling. Does that make sense? Like it wasn't. I didn't go, oh my god, like make that happen
Yeah.
right now. It was just kind of I literally was thumbing through and I saw it and stopped and I was like, and kept scrolling. I don't know that I can give you a better reaction than that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you because I looked at it and I'm like, if it happened, I wouldn't be ticked off, but nah, it's not moving the needle for me.
Dude, Cody Finney calling it now. Addison and Hughes have 10 sack seasons. If Hughes has a 10 sack season, that's a re-emergence for Hughes because he's been. Well, he's also, in my opinion, held on every single play, and the officials never call it ever. I've never seen somebody literally held as much as Jerry Hughes is, and he's never called for holding. So,
Is your son's name Clint?
I don't have a son. I have two daughters. I'm a girl dad. I have two beautiful little girls. One is 10, one is 13. My oldest, McKenna, is a huge Buffalo Bills fan and loves Josh Allen. She's got a Josh Allen fathead on her wall, and she swears she's going to marry him someday. And then my youngest daughter, she's just an awesome little girl. So I have no sons. And if I did have a son, he would be named Joe because I'm the third. So my son would be the fourth. So, yeah.
Okay.
And now we're going to go to a commercial.
Well, no, I was just trying to find some good. Everybody's still on Darnold and that stuff there. One of the comments, and now I'm trying to find it. One of the comments that I saw earlier was somebody said, let's sign our own guys instead of signing free agents. Where was that? Do you see that?
I did. It was way back in the chat. Yes, always. I mean, that's the way to go.
Yes and no. So here's the thing. Like, I agree with this. You always want to sign your drafted talent, your homegrown talent. You re-sign them and keep them, especially when they're good. I agree. However, when you have the chance to sign somebody like Jadeveon Clowney or trade for somebody like Yannick to go on your defensive line and to immediately upgrade your team, it's kind of like trading for Stephon Diggs early. Like, we're comfortable saying that now, like, no more, let's prepare, because we already upgraded in so many areas. If like that Stephon Diggs situation, you go for that 10 times out of 10.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love this, Cody Finney. I'm calling it because last time we had a D-line like this was Mario Williams, Jerry Hughes, Mr. Big Stuff, and Kyle Williams. And I was on the Nap Nose Bills podcast yesterday, if any of you didn't check it out, and he asked me what former drought player, if I could bring one back, would I bring back? And I said Mario Williams. Could you imagine Mario Williams in this defense? You're reading. Did you hear me? Could you imagine Mario Williams? You don't think you would do? He would. You used the word eat earlier. You want to talk about a guy that would eat? Yeah.
I wasn't a Mario fan when he got to Buffalo. I liked him in Houston. I didn't like him here.
How can you not? What?
I didn't. I don't think he lived up to that contract, so I didn't like him.
He got 10 sacks a year for 3 or 4 years in a row.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
Talk about that off it better. He was supposed to play like a superstar. There's guys in the league that do get double-digit sacks or close to double-digit sacks that aren't super. For instance, Mario Addison, how many sacks does he get every year?
Not 4 years in a row.
No, but Mario Addison, how many sacks does he get a year and go back?
I'll look it up.
Okay, I'm just saying. I feel like it should have been a little bit more. I'm not saying it like he wasn't, at all. He was a good player. I just expected so much more. Somebody says Mario Williams on this defense will have 15. That's the Mario Williams I would want to see
every year.
He should have been in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year every year.
He should have been. But so we had this conversation a couple weeks ago. It's because he plays in Buffalo. Or he played in Buffalo on a horrible football team.
But some performances are undeniable. I don't care where you play. For instance, like we did talk about this. If Trey White comes out this season, gives up no touchdowns, basically has like one of the lowest or the lowest quarterback or QBR completion percentage against him, whatever. There's no way that he won't. You know what I mean? Like it just can't happen if it's undeniable. With a talent like Mario Williams, it should have been undeniable. Is what I'm saying.
The landscape is about to totally change for us as Bills fans and Bills players. Like we're re-entering the time when the Bills sent 11 players to the Pro Bowl. That's the landscape we're about to re-enter. So like there is no comparison back to when they were running that wide nine and Jim Schwartz was the defensive coordinator and they were destroying teams just with those 4 guys. Like there's just that whole defensive line should have gone to the Pro Bowl. I think some of them did, but the whole defensive line should have gone.
Yeah, and just so you know, Adam said he doesn't understand my hate for him. It's not that I don't have much hate for him. Well, no, I don't have hate for him. I just had higher expectations. It's the same thing, you know, when you get a superstar player, like that Mario Williams signing was like the largest signing or the biggest signing that we had basically since, obviously that T.O. signing was exciting, but like in reality, a real signing that mattered. Man, when's the last time we had one that big? So the thing is, I expected him to come in and dominate, and he had good seasons. I'm not at all saying it, but like I said, you look at Addison. What was his numbers? Did you look it up?
I'm looking at him right now. So 4 years ago, 9.5. 3 years ago, 11. 2 years ago, 9. Last year, 9.5.
That's what Mario Williams did here. We're getting Mario Addison to give you what Mario Williams did with a much bigger contract. That's what I mean when I say he underperformed for his talent level. But I get it. I know everybody loves Mario, and you know I can't talk bad about Bills players or I get messed up.
I didn't say that I love Mario. I said you put Mario on this defense, forget it. In his prime, like forget it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point. I was just saying I wasn't a fan of it.
Are you a fan of Jadeveon Clowney?
I am. See, it's different. Jadeveon Clowney. First of all, he's been injured. But when you've seen him healthy and you've seen him in the right situation, which he hasn't been in a lot.
He wasn't even the best defensive lineman on his team last year.
He wasn't in the right situation last year.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So. And I'm not comparing Clowney to Mario Williams either. I'm not saying give Clowney the contract that Mario Williams had. I said bring him in 1 year and test it out. If he works, cool. If not, cool. But I'm not putting him on the same level as Mario Williams. No, I just expected more from Mario Williams.
That's fine. You were disappointed. Fair? Is that fair?
Yeah. Nate Clemens would be my easy drought player draft pick. Nate Clemens was a boss.
That's literally, yeah. But see, that's funny to me because that's who Nat picked. So Nat picked Nate, and I was like, I don't know if I'd have gone Nate. If I'm going to pick a drought player, I'm picking Antoine Winfield. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Nate went to the Niners, signed an $89 million contract, and didn't live up to it. Nate Clemens just knocked the ball down. Because what does he not do? He tries to intercept it every time. Nate Clemens picks off a ball or makes a big tackle when the Bills are losing 35-3 and then dances on the football field. It's like, bro, come on. Yeah. So I've got serious pain and scars from Nate Clemens, particularly against the Jaguars, first game of the season, when all he had to do was knock that pass down. I was at the game. All he had to do was knock it down, and he didn't, and they won. Byron Leftwich came in and won that game against Nate Clemens. Byron Leftwich came in and won that game against Nate Clemens. Threw right at him every play. That's not the guy I'm going after. You're reading comments. That's fine.
I'm listening still.
What else you got? What? Here you go. I like Cody Finney. Oh, you just threw one up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump on top of you.
It's all good. Mario Williams didn't live up to contract. Are you high? He played for 4 years, missed one game last year.
43 sacks. Come on, Spence. Come on.
And again, for 4 years.
Was it the way he left? Was it the way he left?
Look at the stat. You just gave me the stats for Addison, right? For 4 years. Now, I don't remember them, so I can't add them up. But he had 43 sacks in 4 years.
He didn't have 43. He had like 37.
37. So 6 less sacks in 4 years, like in the same amount of time, making probably about $80 million less.
The schemes, but the schemes are different. Like there's a lot to be said, but yeah.
I need sacks.
I think you're jaded because of the way he left. A lot of Bills fans are hurt by the way he left. He didn't leave well. That's for sure. Like he gave up. He gave up.
He did give up. But for me, like the time that he was here and he was playing, I needed. It's like, for instance, okay, I'm a Lakers fan, and I'm not going to turn this into a basketball show, but. Seriously, could you imagine being a Lakers fan now, right? We haven't made the playoffs in 7 years. Mm-hmm. So then we finally get LeBron. Last season, LeBron got hurt. The first year in his entire career that he's really injured to any real level. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, we're getting the best player in the world, and then he gets there, and it's not what you expected. It's still good. He's still giving you, 25 points and 8 assists last season a game, which is still very good for any other player. But we didn't make the playoffs. He got injured. He wasn't. It was that same disappointment for Mario Williams. You're looking at this contract. You see how he's performing down there in Houston, and it's like, oh man, we're getting the best defensive end in the league. He didn't play like the best. He played like everybody else, and
I think I disagree because even though sure if you're not happy with the amount of I don't know why we're talking about Mario Williams.
I don't know either. If you're
not happy with the sacks that he got, that's fine. But the sacks he got or the number, I mean, the sacks he got were always in big parts of the game. Like he always came through. And God forbid we played the Dolphins because he owned the Dolphins. They could not stop. Every time we played the Dolphins, that dude would go nuts. It was crazy.
And this is what happens, and this is cool. I appreciate the feedback. Everybody thinks Mario's a beast, and I'm tripping. Here's the thing: when I'm on the show or my podcast, I don't switch up my takes. Like, so I appreciate you all yelling at me. No,
okay.
There's a lot of people who do though. When there's pressure from everybody watching, but no, I appreciate the feedback. I'm not saying he wasn't a good player. What I'm saying is he didn't play up to his contract. So I don't think that's hate. I'm not saying he wasn't a beast. What I'm saying is he wasn't who we expected him to be.
Cody, I can't find your other one with the years. So he wanted me to show another one that had like all the years or something like that, but yeah, I don't see it. So it's hard. They roll fast, bro. It's hard to keep. And you guys are chatting up a storm tonight. Like you guys are all over this chat, so it's hard to keep up. So which is awesome. Keep it going. Oh, Kevin's in the house. Got a Dolphins fan in the house. I remember. Yes, you do.
You moved it. You gotta stop, man. I'm driving, right?
I'll put my hands on my head.
Oh, and Adam says you are a flip-flopper. But this is Cody's comment. So year 1, 10 sacks.
Who's a flip-flopper, me or you?
That's what Cody said you are.
Me?
Yeah. Not Cody. Adam said you are. I'm sorry. But wait, let me read this comment. So year 1, 10.5 sacks. 2 forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. Mm-hmm. Year 2, 13 sacks. Great year. Year 3, 14.5. Great year. You're right. He gave up in year 4.
He gave up in year 4. That's because they moved to a 3-4. That's when the hybrid came in. That's when Sexy Rexy destroyed the defense. And I'd love to know who I flip flop on. So if somebody wants to man up and let me know who I flip flop on, that'd be great. Oh, he said you flip flop.
But actually, well, that's the comment. Joe is a flip flopper. But okay, I didn't say Joe's a flip flopper. But the thing is, I'm definitely not a flip flopper.
said that. Nanini said that I'm a flip flopper.
Well, no, he's saying that he didn't say that, but he needs to. You need to word this differently, man.
Nanini, stop. What it says. Nanini, stop flip flopping. Adam just flip flopped.
He did, because I'm definitely not a flip flopper.
That's awesome.
And for once, I get somebody to agree with me. Thanks, Big Tim. I appreciate you, dog.
What'd he say? Oh,
for once I agree with Spence.
That's funny. Mario Show, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. There's a lot of great comments. It's funny, like we struck a nerve with Mario Williams.
Yeah, Crystal said he wasn't happy with Rex, and that's a good point. A lot of people weren't happy with Rex. Rex ruined that defensive line.
But it wasn't necessarily because of. I mean, it was Rex, but it was what they were asking him to do. Mario Williams was a guy. He was good against the run. He was great against the pass. He wanted to get down. That's why the wide 9 worked with him with Jim Schwartz. Let me put my hand in the dirt. Let me go after the quarterback as fast as I can. Rex came in and said, you know what? I know you're 6 foot almost 9 and 330 pounds. We're going to have you drop back in coverage. And Mario was like, I don't play good backwards. Like I don't run backwards. Like that doesn't work for me. And they just kept hammering him on it. And I mean, as much as you want to see better from players that are making $100 million, I get it. It probably warranted a walk into the office to which he would have said, I'm not the right fit. Like, I appreciate it, but I'm not the guy, right?
I don't know, man. Because, again, when I pull up those stats now, he's showing me year by year, even that 14 sack season, that 13.5 sack season. Mm-hmm. When Rex got here, that went away. So it wasn't even about Mario Williams saying that, hey, it didn't work. If he would have had another season like that, I probably wouldn't even be talking crap.
He couldn't.
If he would have.
He couldn't. It's the Bruce Smith conversation inside the 3-4 defense. Bruce Smith, there's people still that argue that Reggie White was a better defensive end and some other players were better than Bruce Smith. But all those guys, those sack kings outside of Bruce, played in a 4-3. And a defensive end has a different assignment in a 4-3 than a 3-4. You can't take Mario Williams and put him in a 3-4 and expect him to get 10 sacks. It's not possible. Yes, they made him a linebacker, but he's definitely not a linebacker. Like, you want to talk about scheme fit that doesn't. That's why that was one of the reasons that I said when Rex got here, he's going to destroy this defense. And people are like, it's a hybrid 3-4. It's the same thing as a 4-3. They do this all the time, and it's like, no, they don't. The defense is going to get ruined, and it did. Like he could not function in that defense.
But you still don't think it was Rex? It was Rex. He was
No,
the
no,
worst
no, no.
coach.
I didn't say it wasn't Rex. No, it was the scheme. Yes, it was Rex. But yeah, sorry, I may have misspoke somewhere. No, it was definitely Rex. So
Scott says, "Let's talk episode." You're
Oh,
right.
that's
Let's
it.
talk our rookie.
did you watch?
For a
Did you watch
projected
that
first rounder?
Did you watch that interview today?
No, I didn't. Work was crazy. When I got off, I literally got ready for this, so I didn't
Yeah, it
even
was.
get a chance. I'm
Yeah,
happy to
he's
catch up.
so they've got him lining up all over the field as far as on defense. And it was funny because when I was thinking about AJ, like, and I think about this defensive line in particular, it's exciting because this defensive line is going to be, as much as we lost Lawson and we lost Jordan Phillips, and those were very solid players on this defensive line, and we brought in some players that we don't know necessarily yet how they're going to fit. We have high expectations. I'm not on the side of this defense is automatically going to be better than it was last year. The defensive line, I don't know, but I'm excited about the talent that's there. I'm excited for just to see these guys roll. Harrison Phillips coming back off that injury. He was really starting to come into his own when he got hurt against that Bengals game. Obviously, Ed Oliver was coming into his own at the end of the last season. So to roll these guys, like for me, I wasn't even thinking about AJ Epinesa. Like for me, it wasn't an afterthought, but I thought this was going to be one of those years where he would probably watch a lot. He probably, if you're talking a percentage of snaps, 10, 15, 20%. But they came out and they said, McDermott said today in his press conference that they've been lining him up all over the field. He said it as well, trying him at different positions. They want him to learn all the spots along the defensive line, which, in my opinion, is super intriguing. So you probably didn't, like I said, you didn't see it. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Like him lining up on the inside, him lining up on the other side, like.
Well, the thing is, he was projected to be a first rounder, and
Correct.
he failed to us for whatever reason, and I'm grateful for all the other teams who messed up.
Yep.
So, the thing is, in any normal circumstance, if we wouldn't have traded our first round pick away to get Stephon Diggs, we probably would have used that first round draft pick on him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, when you get a first round talent, I mean, I could see him playing, and maybe that's why they feel comfortable not trading for Yannick. Maybe he's a lot better than I think. I'm not a coach, and so there's a reason why I'm doing podcasts and not coaching a football team.
Dude,
so
it's to that point. It's the guy that came out today from PFF that wrote the article that said, I'm not saying that Josh Allen is good. However, they can protect him in this offense and they can win games. It's like, good God, there's a reason that you are not a coach or like in the NFL that you're writing articles, scum articles for PFF. Like, you are not smart. Like, I'm over it, but I'm with you. Like, I'm doing a live show on YouTube, bro. Like, and I'm not getting paid for this. So.
Yeah, there's a reason. So if
My
they're
opinion-
trying him out,
My opinion
Well, I'm saying
doesn't
if
go
they're-
far.
well, if they're trying him out at 4 positions, that means he's obviously, he's up for the job. So I'm looking forward to it. So again, maybe that's why we haven't even been kind of discussed in the real possibility for Yannick, because maybe they are really happy with everything they have.
Yeah, Kevin's got a great. Go ahead.
Kevin, is it new? Let's see.
No, that's fine. You can stick there, with Evans.
Evan said that Jordan Phillips was the worst D lineman on the team last year. You can fight me on that. And there's a bunch of comments responding to this. I agree. I mean, I know he had a pretty decent sack year. I think he kind of got sacks based on the fact that he was just on a good defense. Like, when you got Starr eating up blocks like he did, and then you got Jerry played well enough to. Come on, you watched the film. Starr. We watched the playoff game the other day.
Yeah, I didn't
me,
get
Rico, Pierre.
I didn't get invited to that little.
Every
fun.
time we invite everybody, everybody's too busy. So we just did it. So, but we watched the game, and there's a play, and I'm trying to remember. It was like a 4th down play when they were trying to pick up the first down, and literally, you just saw Starr clog up the middle. I'm telling you, we're gonna miss him, man. We're really gonna miss him, and I know a lot of people don't give him credit because they think, oh, well, he doesn't really get stats. I'm telling you, the reason why other guys get stats is because he really does. He does a good
I don't know
job.
that we're going to miss him, and this is where I wish that we had somebody like Greg Thompson on here or even Bruce Nolan, because this defensive line, by and large, is a sit and stack defense, is what I would call it. Basically, you got the anchor in the middle that sucks up players, right, and then allows other guys to work. If without Starr there, they're going to chase. They're going to be an aggressive. I think they're going to be an aggressive and a Sikkim type of a defense, in my opinion. What Greg Williams would want versus what McDermott would want. So it'll be interesting to see how McDermott's scheme, Leslie Frazier's scheme, works if he doesn't have that big guy in the middle to sit and stack players. So we'll see.
Steven says Stars' contributions don't show in stats. I agree, man. I agree. I'm gonna try to find Kevin's. Here it is. My drop player is Jason Peters.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a good conversation with Knapp about him too. Just the whole. I mean, you're talking about a future Hall of Famer. The Bills draft him, or no, they didn't draft him. He's an undrafted street free agent, rookie free agent that came in as a tight end. Mouse McNally transitions him into a left tackle. He's here. He's not happy. The Bills somehow don't want to pay him. He goes on to the Eagles, and he is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And now he's going to play guard this year. He's going to return to the Eagles this year and play guard.
He's going to dominate at guard.
That dude is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he could have been a Buffalo Bill his whole entire career.
Going back to the Jordan Phillips conversation, he said he watched film. He wasn't great like some dummies say, but he wasn't bad. Bad players don't get 9.5 sacks at defensive tackle. You're being silly. Here's the thing, though. If you're in the right place at the right time, and, because you're on a team like that, because I guarantee you with him being out here in Arizona this year, Jordan Phillips is not going to get 9 sacks. He's not going to sniff. He's not even going to come close to 9 sacks. And I'd be willing to bet you on that one. So if you want to bet on that one, man, hit me up. Let me know. Because there's no way he's going to do that again. No way. And I love him. I love the guy.
But I can promise you, when the Dolphins cut him and he came and the Bills picked him up, they probably said the same thing. That guy's going to suck. There's no way he's going to do anything in Buffalo. And guess what? The dude showed out. He played.
Okay. He was in a better situation. He's not in that same situation.
When he came to Buffalo in 2018, he was not in a better situation. This team was not good in 18. The defense was okay.
The defense
wasn't what they are now, though, or what they were in 19.
No, but they were always, since McDermott has been here, they've been a top defense.
Yeah, top 10. I agree. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a better defense than what Miami had when he left there.
Yeah.
So he's in a better situation. Now he comes out to Arizona. He's not on the Buffalo defense anymore. There's a reason why, players play better with other good players around them.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just saying.
You're never gonna argue that point. That's absolutely true. So
my man Rick James says that sometimes people have a good year. Look at Lorenzo. See, I debate this. Lorenzo had a great career. I know he started off. He had some. Oh, go ahead.
I have a question for Rick James. Rick, is she a super freak? I want to know.
Joe. Joe.
Super freak.
Oh,
she's
man.
super freaking. Also a Buffalo native. Also from Buffalo, New York.
The man.
That's what's up.
The myth
That's
and
what's
the
up.
legend.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that got a hit, got a pop chart hit out of Eddie Murphy. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time.
We got a performance from Joe tonight.
Party all the
you guys
time.
see, I used to be able to hear Joe sing every Sunday, so now I actually miss it.
No, you don't.
I do. I miss church. I miss the Life Church, man. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
I was just teasing. So what's next? What do we got? What else is going on? So have we talked thoroughly? Still going with Jordan Phillips.
We can move on.
Jordan, no, you're good. Jordan Phillips isn't great. He's barely good, but still not bad. Let alone our worst. Our coaches wouldn't put him in if he was someone. Would put him in so much if he was the worst. And I agree. I mean, they roll guys. I mean, it's and yeah. So Rick James Stadium. I like it. Truth to Hearts. Rick James Stadium.
And I don't think anybody was disrespecting Zoe there. I just think that it's a misunderstanding or a misconception that Zoe started to play better when he got here. Zoe has had a solid career, his entire career. He may have had an off season here or there or whatever, and when he was playing on the line, when he was heavier as opposed to a linebacker. But listen, Zoe is solid. There's a reason why everybody loves Zoe. There's a reason.
So what are your predictions? So you've got a podcast, an interview coming up, an exclusive interview with Zoe. So what are your predictions about whether or not he comes back, say, week 9, week 10?
Are you there?
I'm here. Did you not hear me?
Oh, I did. You just look like you froze up. I'm like, wait.
I'm asking you a question. You just weren't
Re-ask.
paying attention. Re-ask.
I wasn't.
I said you have an interview coming up with Zoe, right? Yes. So what are your predictions as far as whether or not he comes back to the Bills week 9, week 10 for the playoff push?
Based on the conversation that I had with him, I would say that he's actively he's making sure he's in shape. He's making sure he's in safe.
It's a hot
shape.
take.
I can't say that he's like for sure gonna come back. But if there's a need, if there's an injury or any type of thing, he will be the first call, and
That's a
he
hot
will
take.
answer it.
That's a hot take right there. I'll take
Yep.
it. I'd love that. Yeah, Adam, that's what's up right there. We will miss him, and we do miss him already. I miss his interviews. Already. So absolutely. So you spend a lot of time reading. Is there any so here's what's up. So while you're perusing, you are listening to the Hump Day Hotline with your hosts Joe Miller and Jay Spence the King. What was that?
No, I'm just laughing because you're trying to get me. Like you, he like because while you're like I'm not paying attention. I'm paying attention, but somebody has to read the comments. You know.
You said you wanted to drive. You yelled at me.
Well, I normally drive, and then you took over it. And
I was doing you a favor because you were ranting, like you had some emotion come out. You were overreacting. I'm just going to say it. You were overreacting a little bit. So I was like,
on your show.
I was like, well, if you're going to take my spot, I'll take your spot. It's fine. Anyways, you're listening to the Hump Day, you're listening and watching the Hump Day Hotline. So hump that like. If you haven't liked it yet, get in there, hump that like, smash the like, hump the like, do whatever you got to do as far as the like goes. Super chatters get priority. So if you're on YouTube, you can super chat us. And what that means is it just comes up highlighted, and we will take your question or whatever statement ASAP. Yeah.
as far as though the interview that I have coming up in September, it's the first week of September. I also
Plug
on
it.
that same episode I have Greg Topsett from Cover One. And I
interview.
literally asked the two of them the same questions. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to get Greg's perspective analytical, and break down film. So so he gave some really good answers. You will be surprised at how similar his answers and Zoe's answers are. So I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna give everything away, but I'm just saying, I really think this year the way the national media is finally starting to give the Bills some attention in this. Listen, it's legit. And it's not just that we have Homer goggles on and we have the things that Zoe says on this interview when you guys listen to it. The reason why I waited to put it out until the week before week one is because I'm telling you, it's going to pump you up. You're going to be you're going to be, first of all, with COVID-19, you're going to be like, man, forget this. I'm running to Ralph. You're going to the Ralph. You're going to watch the game from the stands.
That's the stadium. That's the stadium that shall not be named.
It's the Ralph. It's the Ralph.
You guys talked about it on your podcast today. It'll be interesting to see what kind of happens as far as whether or not they're able to secure something for that stadium. I don't know how they can't. So, Spence, you need all the Phoenix Bills alum together for something. What are the COVID regulations there? Can you guys get together? Are you guys at 50% capacity for restaurants and stuff, bars, whatnot?
No, it's horrible out here. It's bad, man. It's really bad. Nothing is opening back up yet, really. I can't wait to get out.
So apparently I look like I have a doppelganger out there. That's great that I look like somebody, but do I sound like somebody? That's what we really want to know. And I do, but that's okay. It seems like everybody
says 6-0 in the East. What you think?
Ooh.
Now, for those of you who don't know, my man DM3, he was actually on the podcast today on the Code of Conduct that came out today. And he actually gave this prediction on there. And I'm like, okay, I love the Bills. 6-0 in the AFC East. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that we'll sweep the Jets.
I want to say 6-0 in the East. This is a great segue. So I know you had a busy day today. So for those of you that don't know, we have day jobs. And both of us are rather busy, and we both have families and wives. However, there was two different interviews today where they talked about both the Patriots situation and they talked about the Jets situation, the Dolphins situation. So in New England, they're saying that Cam Newton is behind Bill Belichick, and I tweeted it, and nobody responded to it. So I tweeted, I copied it, and I literally in my tweet, in my copy, I said, that we need to lace this with context. And the context is Belichick claiming that he has not decided on a starter yet is not gamesmanship. There is no game this weekend. There's no game next weekend. We are weeks away from a football game. So the fact that he has not decided on a starter at this point, basically to get the lion's share of reps, speaks volumes for what's happening. And I basically said, I'll let you decide, and that was just the reader, is it that Stidham is doing really well, or is it that Cam is not doing well? If that makes any sense. Like I didn't want to like lead or put blame anywhere. So that's an interesting thing there. And they came out today and they were talking about the fact that they're not beyond platooning quarterbacks like this season, which basically means that Stidham will get some snaps, Newton will get some snaps, Hoyer might get some snaps, like, and they're not really going to settle or decide on a quarterback. They are saying that Cam, because he came in 3 weeks ago, is behind. That he's a little bit behind in the playbook, and obviously Stidham knows it because he's been in the system. And then Hoyer, this is the second time he's been in the system. I think it was Chris Brown that was talking about that today. And then in the Dolphins side of it, they had on One Bills Drive today, they had a Dolphins guy from Radio.com on the show, and he was talking about the fact that like right now the best quarterback in camp from what he's seen. You ready for this? Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen, he from his eyes, from what he's watching, is not Tua, and it's not Fitzmagic. It's Rosen. The ball's coming out.
What I was and I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with this. What I wanted to happen, and I know we drafted, what's his face from Georgia, but I wanted to trade for him when everybody was kind of throwing him away.
Right.
I'm like, have him be our backup quarterback. You have two guys that are typically the same age or close to it. They came out the same time. Both very talented. Mm-hmm. Develop him as your backup, and if anything were ever to happen with Josh, or if Josh didn't work out, then we have another first-round talent in our locker room that can possibly be there. And because of how everything has gone for him over the past few years with Arizona and Miami,
it's been rough.
His contract situation. So at the end of his rookie deal, he's not going to get the same contract Josh Allen is going to get. He's not going to get the contract that Sam Darnold's going to get. Have him come in as our backup, and that would have. But again, I get it. We made different moves through the draft and all that stuff. But man, I wanted that.
Yeah. So it'll be so back to the point about 6-0. The fact that there are quarterback issues, concerns, that they're not solidified. And I don't remember if I was talking to you about this or who I was talking to, but like the reality is Fitzpatrick is going to start the season as the Dolphins quarterback, and he's not going to come out until they're 2-2 or 2-4, right? 1-4, 1-3, when like the wheels have come off, and they're basically going to put Tua in. I can't see Tua winning the job out of the gate. So I want to say the Bills are going to be 6-0. It's just, man, it's been a long time since the Bills have been 6-0 in the AFC East. Actually, 90% of the people in this chat probably don't ever remember the Bills being 6-0 in the AFC East, primarily because the Colts were also in the AFC East a long time ago, or not that long ago. So it would have been 8-0. But anyway,
I don't agree with this. I don't think Rosen seems dumb at all.
I've never talked to him. Have you ever had a conversation with him? I've never had a conversation with him.
No. And then also, like, looking at his interviews, he seems like a very intelligent guy. Andrew says, your brother says that they're hyping Rosen to bring up his stock so they can trade him. That's probably a good point.
It's possible.
Yeah, we see smoke screens like that every year from a bunch of different teams. So
maybe they'll trade him. Maybe they'll trade him to Buffalo for a wide receiver that we're going to cut. Yeah.
No, I mean we have to, but we have to.
So
we're so deep this year.
I hit that on my podcast on Monday, and I know you listened to it. Just the trouble, the pending concerns that this Buffalo Bills team has is if one Josh Allen gets hurt, what happens at that point in time? Specifically, if we keep Fromm and then stuff Barkley on the practice squad and only keep two quarterbacks, they're never going to see. They're not going to see Jake Fromm take a snap a live NFL snap until next year in preseason. Like, that's crazy to think about. So, and it would be nice to see the Bills with a backup that has a similar playing style.
Maybe not. Too. Wait a minute, Joe. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Maybe this offense is going to be high powered, like I'm saying, and maybe we're actually going to be pretty good. And maybe there will be some games that we're beating teams 35 to 10.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but he's going to.
And maybe they throw him in.
He's going to turn around and hand the ball off, though. Is that going to count?
Well, what I'm saying is because this year is different, they might put him in now and say, okay, let's go out there, see what you can do, like get some reps. And they might, we'll see. But I agree with my man Evan. He said not Isaiah McKenzie as far as that wide receiver being cut. I'm rooting for him. I think he's a lot more difficult to replace with what he can do and what he does for our team than somebody like Robert Foster. I just think, honestly, I think Robert Foster at this point, good guy. I was excited when we thought he was going to be what we the glimpses that we saw prior to this last season. So I wish him well, and it's not, nothing negative against him. But with the roster we have, it's so deep, man. Just go ahead and, try to trade him. I think there's a bunch of teams that are looking for another receiver.
It's not just him, though. I mean, it's pretty obvious from what we've been seeing in camp that Hodgins and Gabe is going. They're going to move people off this roster. So
Yeah,
I don't see Foster sticking around, and it's going to be an interesting toss up between McKenzie and Duke. And Duke
I
is
don't
balling.
think Duke is making it.
Duke, did you see the ball he caught?
I did.
Oh my god!
But I don't think he's making it. I think that those rookies, man. Listen, Duke isn't competing with McKenzie. They serve two separate roles.
Oh, for sure.
So so Duke is competing with those rookies, and those guys are making this roster. Like,
sure.
if you listen, those guys are studs. Out of everybody that's been there, one of them is probably the biggest receiver they've seen in years. They say
6'4", yeah.
the other
Gabe
one
Davis.
is like, so they're just, they look good. They're into it. They've been in Josh Allen's pocket all off season. Listen, I think the wide receiver room as we knew it and fell in love with it. And I get it. Outside of roster, a lot of people have feelings for Isaiah McKenzie, or
Yeah.
we love Duke. We really love Duke. I get it. Listen, it's about talent at this point. It used to be at a time where, because we weren't really winning games the way we wanted to, all we really had was the relationship that we had with the players. It was like,
Right.
oh, they're good guys. They're great for the community.
Yep.
So you love them and you fall in love with these guys. But listen, if we're winning, I will watch Duke. Just like, I know everybody hates me for it, but just like I like to watch Cam, even though he's now going to be a New England Patriot. I'm a fan of Cam Newton, so I can watch him. I look forward to watching Tom Brady this year because I don't have to hate him as a Patriot. So, I can watch other players. I'll watch Duke wherever he goes, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's the difference between you and me. If he goes to the Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots, I'm not watching him.
Well, I mean, I'm not watching him there. Well, I'll watch him when he plays the Bills.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what we end up doing. So this is an interesting thought that came out. So you didn't see it, but Teron Johnson was interviewed today as well, and shifting gears on you just a little bit. And this was the question. They asked him a question just about the differences between St. John Fisher, and that was what prompted the question in the chat earlier today in the BF chat. St. John Fisher versus being here. And he said that he doesn't like dorming, that he prefers this because he's home every night. However, the question was brought up in the chat, which is legit, and it was the first thing I thought of as well. You think about, football and football teams, and they go off to camp, right, to have that bonding experience. Do you think that there's going to be any type of not a setback, but, I mean, is there going to be I don't know what the word is. Is it not going to be maybe as cohesive as it normally is when they're at camp for 3 weeks? Keeping in mind as well that there are teams that don't go to camp. So there are legit NFL teams that never go to a camp. So do you think that there'll be a difference this year?
I don't, and I think the reason being is only because it's this year. We have the largest or the greatest number of returning players.
Yep.
So that cohesiveness was already there. The friendships and the brotherhood was already there. They've been hanging with each other over the summer. They've still been training with each other. So to be honest, I think obviously for the rookies and stuff like that, they're missing a lot of that camaraderie that they would gain from being at St. John Fisher's. But as far as the bulk of the roster, no, I think I think if anything, we should benefit more than any other team.
I wonder if this will spell the end of the St. John Fisher run.
I hope so, and not for
Why?
the sake because. So you remember where was it at? It wasn't before it was St. John Fisher's. It was down in 90 at
Fredonia.
Fredonia. I would love for it to be in Buffalo, where fans can come to Buffalo.
UB. Well, obviously it's a regional thing, so they're trying to draw in the fans from Rochester, which is
I
why
get
they do
that.
so.
I get that, but no, it's the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to drive real quick. Don't do anything. If we can just end the ridiculousness, if we can never talk about Andre Roberts getting cut again from this football team, that would be great. Andre Roberts is making this football team. Taron Johnson,
like it or
Tywan Jones, and Isaiah McKenzie, as much as I like all three of them, and I like Isaiah McKenzie the most, they're not Andre Roberts. And there's a reason that Andre Roberts goes to the Pro Bowl every year. So, yeah, he's making this team. Sorry, you can go back to driving.
Well, no, it's cool. I mean, because then I see comments like this. So people think that this is all McKenzie is on the team for. Listen, Scott, McKenzie, he's not here just for jet sweeps. You're right. Diggs can do that.
They should have done more. They should have done more last year than they did.
They absolutely should have done more. But the thing about McKenzie, so let's just say hypothetically, if Roberts gets injured, as our punt and kickoff returner. You have seen them throw Micah Hyde back there just for fair catches, whatever.
Yep.
You don't want Micah Hyde returning punts.
No.
You don't want Stephon Diggs or Trey White. You don't want any of your top players like this returning punts. McKenzie, I know that there's been some concern in the past because of drops or whatever. Listen, they're developing this guy. Yeah. He's been on an NFL roster consistently. He wouldn't be on a consistent roster like this if he was really as bad as a lot of fans think in that regard. Agreed. So I'm telling you, they're developing him. This time next year, we're not going to be talking about Andre Roberts because I really think McKenzie is just going to have that role. So, we'll see.
It's funny because the Isaiah McKenzie jet sweep thing, if they ran it, they didn't run it 10 times, but just roll with me here. If they had run it 10 times, literally the defense 9 of the 10 times or 8 of the 10 times literally had an oh crap moment when he got the ball and took off. That's how fast he was. Like when he got the ball and took off, 8 of the 10 times the defense was like, oh my God. And they couldn't catch him. I mean, the dude he was amazing on those jet sweeps. They should have ran it 3 times a game, and they ran it like once every other game, if that. But yeah. We've been into this thing for an hour 5. How long do you want to go? Nobody's really super chatting us. The good conversation in the chat. I love the conversation in the chat.
Yeah, it's been fun tonight.
If anybody's got something so let's do this. Let's open it up. So like for the next 10, 15 minutes, let's just open it up to just random questions. So if you've got a question and Kevin's in here, and if ask us, we'll try to get to it. If we don't see it, your best bet is to super chat us. Then we'll see us. So what's Kevin asking?
He said Micah Hyde is criminally underrated.
Criminally.
His over-the-top coverage allows the cornerbacks to gamble and play so aggressively. He is really, really good. I agree 100%.
Yeah, and the 3 of them.
Joe, I'm sorry. Can we come back to Kevin really quickly? I'm sorry. Can we stop with this Christian Wade?
They did an interview with him today.
He's on the practice squad.
You're like hot, bro. You were hot today.
Because it's like I'm so sick of hearing about Christian Wade. I like him. I get it. It's a fun story. He's not making the team. He's going to be on the practice squad again. Can we please stop talking about Christian Wade? Okay, woosah. Back to Kevin. Yes, he is very good. Micah Hyde is awesome. You're red now, Joe. Are you okay?
I'm scared. So there's not a great translation in camera. Being a ginger, the world works against you as it is already, right? So I'm not angry. I'm not emotional. It's just a matter of like what I see in my cam. Like I look normal skin, and when I look on my screen, like I'm beet red. I'm not red right now at all, but it is what it is. So this is the face that God gave me. You guys can like it or you cannot like it. So another 40 minutes, Cody. Are you going to stick around for all 40, Cody? If you stick around, we might do it. So
Andrew says with Sweeney being injured to start.
Hang on. Andrew, thank you for the follow today. Andrew followed me on Twitter today. So thank you for the follow, bro. Yep.
Nice. So with Sweeney being injured to start training camp, does that open up things for Kroom? Maybe we go light at tight end and keep a 7th wide receiver. I don't see Kroom making the roster. What about you?
It's weird. I think because I don't know what they're going to do on offense. So it literally comes back to what I was talking about Star being not on defense. Like they're not going to be able to stop and stack people the way that Star does because Star isn't there. So that guy that gobbles up people isn't there. Same thing is true. Like I don't know. They might go to more of a not up tempo. So don't get the wrong idea. I'm not talking K-gun, but they might try to go to more of a not prolific, but more of a fast pace, like really kind of go after you, which is the high potent, high-powered offense you're talking about. If they do that, they might not want Lee Smith here anymore. However, if they try to stay in that vein that we've seen them live in the last couple of years, including last year, which is, 50-50, right? 55-45, like run to pass. Lee Smith is making this football team because they like him as the 3rd tackle. They like him on that offensive line as the 3rd tackle. So I don't know. Maybe if Lee Smith gets cut, Kroom stays. I'm with you. I think Kroom's got a lot of talent. I think that injury that he had was unfortunate. I think he's got ability and ball skills. I just don't know that his future is in Buffalo.
Oh, the wrong one. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Well, we can read that one, but that was.
If y'all stay on, what do you say? He
said if y'all stay on for 3 more hours. Sorry, Cody. I don't know. I can't do that tonight, man.
I got nothing to do.
No, man.
As long as I can take some pee breaks, we're all right.
My main man Sturrow said, "Why haven't we heard anything about Dawson Knox in training camp?"
We have. We have. He got thrown 1 ball yesterday and he dropped it. That's literally what the report was. He got thrown 1 ball yesterday, and he dropped it. I hate the fact that that's the report, but that was the report.
No, Evan, Foster talk does not need to happen still.
It's amazing to me, the Robert Foster, and how fast he fell off for Bills fans. Because if you remember, before 2019, last season, so rolling into the summer, there was a lot of talk. I was one of them that was big on Twitter about the Bills needing a number one wide receiver. And all the chat on Bills Mafia Twitter was how we've got a number one. We don't need a number one. Robert Foster is going to surprise people. Like, he's going to be the number one. And for a dude that was going this direction, I've never seen somebody do this faster than Robert Foster did. Like, that dude just, I don't know if he lost confidence. And I played sports, so I know what it feels like. I know what it means to lose confidence, like hitting. So I played varsity baseball. And when you get into a slump, and there's an aspect when you walk up to the plate, you're literally like, you're telling yourself, I can't hit anything. I shouldn't even be up here batting right now. So I'd imagine that there was times when he was out there, he was thinking to himself, I can't get open, or even if Josh throws in the ball, I'm not going to catch it. But I've just never seen somebody with this do this so fast. It was crazy. Crazy.
I wonder, and I don't know this, so it's more of a question. I wonder if it's about work ethic as well, because remember when they cut him and then they brought him back, and then it seems like last season he kind of fell off the face of the earth as far as his usage, and then and now it's like they just don't even talk about him. So who knows? That might be. But Cody, I wanted to bring this up to go back to Kroon for a second. He said, let's not forget that he led the tight end group statistically 2 years ago. He did. But that was also when we had nobody. Like, right. I mean, I don't know if that's something to really hang your hat on.
So
that year we were just horrible.
So Cody Finney played linebacker. I played baseball. I played football early in high school, and then I wanted to grow my hair out, and the coach we had in high school wouldn't let you have long hair and play football, so I stopped. Played volleyball. What else did I play? I played softball for years. Yeah. So what sports did you play? Did you play any sports there, Spence?
I played basketball and football.
Basketball and football. I also swam, so I was a swimmer in middle school. I never played soccer. I never played basketball. I could play basketball and soccer. I just never played them organized. So, yeah, interesting.
I played basketball in high school. I'm actually going to have, not on the Wednesday edition of it, but on the Code of Conduct, I'm actually going to have some guys on there from high school who we played with, like went to states and all that stuff. We had a fun time at City Honor. So we're going to have that pod coming up soon, man. Just have some fun.
Cool. That's cool. Pretty sweet.
Kevin wants to know if Daryl Johnson makes the team. Does the lack of preseason games hurt his chances? I liked his potential and how he looked last year. Johnson over Murphy.
I like Daryl Johnson, 6th-round pick, defensive end. Right, he did flash last year. He flashed.
I like him a lot.
I don't think it's an impossibility. I think that there's a situation where the McDermott and Bean like guys they draft, and I think they want to give them every opportunity they have or they can. This is probably a season where if there's Daryl Johnson is probably that guy that gets cut and gets stashed on the practice squad because the practice squad is so big. The rule changes that they made. If he gets cut, that's why. So yeah.
Richard wants to know, is anybody else pumped about Beasley's interview and him saying he feels better now than he did when he was 26? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm more pumped about him saying that if he doesn't get the football, he doesn't care because he might not get the football a whole lot, even though I want him to. I'm supposed to ask
He'll get the football a lot.
I'm supposed to ask you a question. Hang on a second. Here it is. Joe, ask Spence, when will KCP score more than 1 point in a playoff game?
My dude Sturls, man, I'm hoping tomorrow. I am hoping to God that it happens tomorrow. I don't even want to this is about the Bills. Let's not let's not tick me off right now, Sturls.
That's cool. Ryan Thiel has got a point here and driving real quick. Yes, Johnson is a special teamer, but those guys kind of come and go. So this is a good question for you. How about this one? Do you like this guy?
Is Voshon Joseph? Yeah, he's absolutely flying under the radar. He was on my pick. I don't know if you all were listening to that show when I was on the Overreaction podcast and we did was that the Overreaction or mine? I don't remember, but whatever. We did our roster predictions and breakdowns for.
I think it was yours.
Okay.
Was it mine or yours? I don't remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, we did that, and I actually picked him. I think he's going to make the team. So, I think he is flying under the radar. I think not to the team though. I think they see him obviously in practice. And listen, if everybody knows who he is and they've watched him, this kid is special.
Yeah.
He's special.
Crystal, thanks for being with us. Beasley seems way more enthusiastic here than he did in Dallas. The reason is, as per Cole Beasley, is because in Dallas, the man upstairs was telling the coaches where the ball had to go to. So in his time, per himself, he said this when he was in Dallas, that it was coming down from upstairs, that the ball was supposed to go to Dez, and then the ball was, whoever the top guy was, is where the ball was supposed to go to. So as much as he was out there running routes and wide open, they weren't supposed to throw the football to him. They're supposed to throw it to the guy that his jersey's getting bought, is what he said. So that's why he's happy to be here.
Beasley is a great slot receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if him and I don't think Hodgins is going to really take snaps from anybody right now. Our top 3 guys are pretty much set at top 3. I think this is going to be a year to develop them and they'll flash, but I don't think that they'll take snaps from anybody.
Isn't Hodgins the one that's 6'4"?
I honestly, I get the two mixed up at the moment.
I'm pretty sure Hodgins is the big guy. Hodgins is like 6'4". I'll Google it.
Yeah.
The internet is your friend.
Evan thinks Voshan can't tackle. That's basically his problem, which at his position where that's the most important thing. That's not good. Maybe it's improved his technique, but at Florida, yikes. Okay.
Yeah, Isaiah Hodgins is 6'4". He's probably not playing slot.
Well, he's also not taking. He's going to be that. He might come in and get some plays when it's you're trying to throw that jump ball up and we're in the red zone. But he's not taking snaps from Stephon Diggs, John Brown, or Cole. Nobody's taking. Those top 3 guys are getting their snaps all year.
Yeah, Cole. I don't know what you would get. So if you've got to that point, if you've got a guy in the slot already that averaged the most yards of separation per play, per route that he ran last year in the league, so he was more wide open than any other player in the league as far as at his position, wide receiver. Why would you ever take that guy off the football field? You wouldn't, unless you're changing personnel groups. Like you just wouldn't. That's the guy. Like Isaiah Hodgins isn't getting more open than Cole Beasley.
Yeah, no. Cole Beasley is the most open receiver in the league, literally.
Right, literally. Like, yeah, exactly. And he's sure-handed, except for the one stupid deflected off of his arm interception against the Jets last year. Other than that one stupid play, which everybody.
What do you think about this?
Everybody blames Josh Allen for.
Cody wants to know what percentage of snaps do you think Moss would take from Singletary?
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens because the Bills went into last year with a very predetermined idea that Frank Gore was going to be the guy, regardless of the fact that Singletary flashed well early in the season and then he got hurt. And then they came around to him. And Gore so much has said, I don't know if you saw this, he said that he loves Buffalo and he loves what's going on here. However, had they not made that switch, he would have had 1,000 yards last year. To which everybody in Buffalo went, well, maybe not. So my guess is they're going to come out this season. This is just a guess, and I could very well be wrong. I think they're going to come out this season, and they're going to run Singletary. And then they're going to bleed Moss in, just like they did with Singletary. And if Moss turns into being like what we think he can be, Marshawn Lynch Part 2, then I have a feeling he'll bleed all the snaps from Devin, and Devin might become a third down back guy. But it'll be interesting to see. He's going to get every opportunity, I think. So it'll be sparingly at first, and then they'll feed him after.
And everybody knows my opinion on it. Me and Pierre jokingly we go back and forth about it because Pierre, and rightly so, everybody in the Buffalo Fanatics chat room thinks that Devin Singletary is a star. They think he's a stud, and he is.
That that article that came out today was a little much about him being the next Christian McCaffrey.
Well, it was hypothetical. They were saying it on fantasy value.
It's still a little much.
I mean, it was a good article. It was all right. But what I'm saying is, though, the way I see it, I really feel that Zach Moss is a better prospect. He's a better running back. So I would personally, I feel towards the end of the season, I think he's going to be more of the lead back than Singletary. I agree with this.
I put this up there for you, bro. Like I'm lofting you softballs now. I'll be honest with you, but before I knew who Gilliam even was, Jay Spence was on the Gilliam train. So, and I was like, "You think this guy's making the final roster?" And Spence was like, "Yup," and I was like, "All right."
I'm telling you, I stick to my takes because when I watch certain things, like I really watch them and I don't just like listen or watch stats. Like, I can't stand the people that really just go read stats and be like, nope, this guy's good. No, watch the game. Yeah. Gilliam is a beast. He's running routes like tight ends and receivers out there, man. He's making the squad. What's up, Rob? Man, my man Robbie. Listen, This guy right here, he has a podcast. Young man, very, very good guy. If you guys want to check him out, if you're looking for extra Bills content, please go check my guy out. I don't have your link, or I don't know what the name of your show is at the moment. I'm guessing it's Let's Talk Sports. Robbie, if you can throw the name of your show in the comments, man.
Look at that, getting plugged by the big man. Plugged.
No, he's my guy. He's a really good. He's a really good guy, man.
I'm good with it. I'm all about helping people and their platforms. All about it.
Cody says no. Singletary over Moss to start the season. Yes.
Well, it's because somebody said that Zach Moss is better than Singletary. Somebody before that said that Moss was better.
They're right.
No, Moss. That you think Moss is better than Singletary, or Singletary is better than Moss?
Yes, I've been saying that all off season.
Well, Cody just said Singletary over Moss, and you agreed.
No, I said no. I said to start the season, like he'll be over Moss as far as getting snaps. But if we're talking who's better, Zach Moss is a better running back. I've been saying that all offseason. XPR, he's been yelling at me. He's like, "No, Spence, you tripping." Just wait till y'all watch this guy on the field. And again, when I make statements like this, please understand it's never a slight against Devin. I love Devin. If we wouldn't have drafted Zach Moss, you would have no complaints from me having Devin Singletary as our lead back. What I'm saying is we have the ability to have two beasts in the backfield. Zach Moss is an angry runner. He runs people over. He runs through people. He can make people miss. He does have some real, like he has some speed that might not look like he can break away. But I'm telling you, the kid, we'll talk about this like week 3, week 4. Because everybody right now, we haven't seen it. And everybody's like, Spence is crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. Y'all watch.
Next week on Mondays, Jay Spence will be hosting the Overreaction podcast. Just so everybody knows.
All right.
No, I'm
like
with you. I'm with you. So for me, the Moss Singletary thing is like I don't know how to feel because I love Devin Singletary and I love his game and I love what he brings to the table. And then I watch the stuff from Zach Moss in college and I get really excited. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, but if I play Zach Moss, it means I can't play Devin Singletary. And then it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm literally stuck. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. So that's just kind of where I fall.
I think Cody still really is thinking that I'm saying that Singletary isn't special. Nobody's saying he isn't special. So everything that you're saying, I can see that type of season for Singletary if he had the full year as the lead back. But I'm telling you, if you had Zach Moss as your lead back, go watch his college show.
Hit the next one. He acquiesces in the next one. So hit his next comment. Cody's.
I'm sorry. No, I mean everything jumps. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I got it.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I truly do. Be a great problem to have if both are tough. And I'm telling you, they are, man. When you look at this, I'm actually a little disappointed because I ended up having Devin Singletary in my fantasy league fall to me in like round 9. How that happened, I have no clue. But I got Devin Singletary in round 9 in my fantasy team. So I have him, and for the start of the season, I'm excited. But I know I'm going to end up probably going to pick up Moss as a free agent and just stashing him because I'm telling you, it's going to be just like when nobody drafted Singletary outside of Buffalo last year. And then once he came back from that injury and he just blew it up, that's exactly what's going to happen, man. I'm telling y'all.
All right, do me a favor.
I know running backs.
Do me a favor if you're watching right now on YouTube or Facebook. Jump on that like button, hump it, smash it, whatever you got to do. Get on the like button. Let's get these likes up a little bit. So just so you know, the likes are what ratchets us up as a network, Buffalo Fanatics, on the Google searches when you go in and you type Buffalo Bills content or Buffalo Bills whatever, interviews or Buffalo Bills things. Those like buttons all add in. So jump in. Anytime you're watching us, anytime you're watching the Rico Report, anytime you're watching the Bills guys, whatever you're watching, go in, subscribe, hump the like button, get on it. And let us get us up in the rankings as far as the Googliness. Get our Googliness up.
What do you think about this, Joe? He says true beasts do not split backfield time evenly. See, I just feel like it's tough to have when you have.
I don't have an answer. Like I'm falling. Like for me, this is I love Devin Singletary. I love the potential of what I see in Zach Moss. I don't know how to feel. Right? Like I don't know how to feel. Like this is if Zach Moss is I can guarantee you this, if Zach Moss is who we think Zach Moss is, they're both not going to be on this football team in 2 years.
No. They're gonna continue to
they're either gonna
nobody's going to re-sign all these running backs like that.
But they're going to trade. They're either going to trade one or they're going to let one of them walk and then sign one of them. I'm just saying, like, I honestly don't know how to feel. Like, I want them both to be good, but at the same time, that's like, but I like them both. I don't. Yeah, dude. I don't want to root for one to fail, right?
Well, I'm not putting them. So I have to preface this comment with this. I'm not putting them on the same level. Thank you. I was actually about to say this. They're
Yeah,
not
that's
Ingram
good.
and Kamara, but it's a very good comparison.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the yin and the yang, you could give Ingram the lead in a game, and he can take over a game, and he can completely do his thing. And then if you're playing against a team where Kamara's skill set can do, it's the same thing. So I'm not saying that Devin's not good. When I say Moss is better, it's just because I guess, well, maybe it's better due to the way I like to see players run. He's just an aggressive, and I know you and I joke about him saying that he makes players make business decisions. I love that, man. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the type of running back I feel like the Buffalo Bills needed last season. Everything with Frank Gore, again, he's a Hall of Famer. We love him. We were grateful that he came to. We were grateful.
He's
that
not going.
signed.
He's not going in as a Buffalo Bill. Let's just put it that way.
No,
Yeah.
no. That 49ers career, that was, yeah.
Yep, for sure. Absolutely. This is good. Go down to the bottom. Cody Finney's last comment.
More of a Lynch and Jackson compared. No, because Jackson, I think obviously Devin is far better than Jackson. And
I think the premise of his point is right. I think the difference is we didn't. There was great potential in Fred Jackson. He just was never given the opportunity to find out. Like, and then when we ran Marshawn Lynch out of town, because that's what happened. Bills Mafia ran him out of town. Then Fred played, and then it was like, oh, this kid can play. Does that make sense? So it'd be more like in discovery mode in the sense of like we've got Marshawn, we've got Fred, and like we're about to find out this year that they're both really good. They're both like who we think they are. That's what is about to happen with Singletary and Moss. We're about to find out that both these guys are probably really good running backs. And then it's like, well, who gets the most carries? And I don't know, maybe it turns into a defensive strategy game. Whoever we're playing on defense, if they have a hard time with a guy that's running downhill and trucking people, you play Moss. If they got a hard time with a guy that's a scat back that can do it all and catch out of the backfield, maybe you play Devin. I don't know. I'd love to see more, dude. I'd love to see more screen passes from Devin Single to Devin this year. Like, let's make that happen. Like,
and I think that's where he's going to that's where he'll get his touches extra. But when it comes to, we got to run that ball and we got to run it down their throats, it's going to be Zach Moss.
Yep. I got you, Cody. I see you, dog. I got you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Cody.
Yeah, for sure. So we're winding down a little bit. So again, a couple more minutes. If you want to get something in a question in real quick, super chat us. Otherwise, we're probably going to be out in about 4 minutes. So.
Not probably. We'll be out in 4 minutes.
We appreciate just the interaction, dude. I love the chat. I wish it's funny because like I'm on the show, and like I want to be in the chat. Like actually, here we go. What's that question?
Cool.
Read it.
Dabo has weapons all over. Let's see how he uses them. He's got tricks. I only put this one up because I know that you're very critical of our offensive coordinator at the moment.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
You're good. He's making a comment, guys.
Just did. Joe Faisal, we think like Spence. Wait, that wasn't the Dable one. What was the Dable one? I'm good with thinking like you, bro. I'm good with it, Cody. So yeah, you and I are we boys.
Well,
What
the
was
Dayball one is just saying that he has weapons. Let's see how he uses them. He has tricks.
I just hope he doesn't outsmart himself because he has a tendency to do so. So is all I would say. Hey, look it's me, and I'm not red because it's in black and white.
Hey, my man Robbie that I talked about earlier, his show is called Let's Talk 716. You can find him on YouTube, man. Check him out.
Very good. Welcome, Robbie. Welcome.
So tomorrow, what's the schedule? Is it the Bills guys tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Thursday, so it is the Bills guys tomorrow. Yes, it is.
So tomorrow is the Bills guys. Make sure you guys jump in and check it out. I'm going to be in and out because I'm going to be watching the Lakers. So Steve and Dave, if you guys are listening, I'm in and out. I have you guys on my phone, but I'm going to be watching the Lakers too. But, yeah, check those guys out. If you haven't listened to the Overreaction podcast this week, check that out. If you haven't listened to the Code of Conduct podcast this week, check that out. Actually, you know what? I really want people to check this one out. I had a tough discussion on there, but I think it's a necessary discussion. So if you really get some time, please go and check that out.
Indeed. And I was going to say something, and then I thought about your show today, what you were just saying, and I was like, I agree with that. And then I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, rough. This is what it's like getting old.
Well, hey, hump that like, hump that like for us. And listen, I'm excited, Joe. We got the season. It's like it feels real now. It feels like it's almost here.
Yeah, so just to recap, we started the show with special teams for those of you that weren't here. Just talking about the craziness, the circus that is going on with the punter situation. Obviously, we've got the kicker situation. We've got Andre Roberts and people calling for him to get cut so we can keep other guys that we think can take his spot. What else is going on? It's just, yeah. So I would just, it's funny to me that that's probably the point of most concern as it pertains to this football team and special teams and how we're going to end up 3 weeks from now. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh, thank you for that, Steve. Appreciate you, too. Real quick, if you are on Twitter, so first of all, follow me at Joe Miller Wired. Follow Jay Spence the King at Jay Spence the King. But there is on the Buffalo Fanatics Twitter page, at BFLO Fanatics, there is a poll on there about what your favorite YouTube show is from the Fanatics, Rico Report, the Hump Day Hotline, or the Bills guys. Go there right now, vote, but vote for us.
I feel like it's over. Didn't
Is it?
it
Oh,
close?
dang it!
I
I
feel
was
like it
hoping
closed.
I was hoping we could do a Tennessee Titans and like roll it up at the very end there or something.
We could pay for votes next time. Don't worry about it. I got $5.
I got $5.
Just like the Tennessee Titans. We could pay for it, just like the Tennessee fans.
Appreciate
But
you
hey,
guys.
guys.
Yeah,
I
appreciate
was just
you.
going to say, we had a lot of fun. I have fun every week, obviously, talking with you, Joe. But
Dude, you brought the energy tonight. I felt like I was like just along for the ride. It was kind of nice. You brought the energy.
a couple comments in there had me kind of had me go. We really have to stop talking about Christian Wade. I love him, but we really have to stop.
Well,
I
the hard part about I'll leave you with this, and I don't want to leave you with it. It's not a Christian Wade. We need to play him or put him on the roster. They're going to bury him on the practice squad because they can. Like they get a roster exemption from him, which puts you in a situation where you think are they ruining this guy's career? If they just let him go and he was able to be picked up by the Jaguars, does he get an opportunity to play there? Right? I guess that's the only thing that I would say. I just don't know. So, but I'm sure that he loves being here, and I don't know what he's making, but it is what it is. So, anything else? Rico's my favorite host, but this is my favorite. Joe Nelson, you're my guy. From now on, Joe Nelson is my guy.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys. Hey, y'all stay safe this week. Be peaceful with each other.
Yes, and as always, it's coming up soon. Go Bills.